Hi there, this is Joe from Square XO, and I'm joined by Lloyd.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about E3 and specifically the EA press conference. We're going to try and do videos for the other press conferences. Can you get it out? For the other press conferences. What we might do with some of them is actually just put quite a few of them into one video, but we'll see how it all turns out, because sometimes you just get busy and you just need to do it as best you can. So we'll see how that goes. Before we start on this video, please remember to visit our website at squarexo.co.uk. Visit us on twitter.com/square_xo. And if you love our content, please back us on patreon.com/squarexo so we can bring you more videos like these, more video casts and loads of reviews. Really, I mean, what I wanted to say about Patreon, I know this sounds like a big advert, but I just wanted to say, obviously we're not expecting to ever earn enough to do this for a living, but if we do it, great. But that's not why we're doing it. Basically, the reason we're doing it is so we can pay for the servers, and if we get enough, so we can pay for prizes as competition and give them away in our Square XO screenshot competition and things like that. So yeah, that's the reason we do it. So we do this because we love doing it. But if we can give stuff away and keep it running without it costing, then that's great. Yeah, so thanks, back as if you can. And let's get on with this video. Okay, doke. Right, EA. Right,
Yeah.
I told Lloyd, no, it would be funny, Lloyd, why don't we just pretend we're asleep at the start of the video, and then we'll just play some music as we slowly wake up and say, oh, sorry, we drifted off there, but I decided we wouldn't do that. So you know what the plan was, at least, but I kind of changed my mind.
It wasn't. I would say I got to admit it wasn't sort of holding my attention all the way through. But we'll get into that, I'm sure.
Okay, so let's just get straight into the news that came out of this. The first bit I've got down here, it's not in any particular order of the conference, it's just for whatever I've written down. So the first thing I wrote down was, Origin Access Premier Service lets subscribers play full PC games before release. Now I think this is $90 or $99 a year, and it basically lets you play EA's games, all of them.
It's a pretty good deal, I would say.
If you're an EA fan, it is. Yeah.
Even if you, I mean, even if you're a sports fan and you only want to play that year's sports games, then that's everything covered for $99 a year. But what was interesting was they didn't add that tier to the. I know we're a PlayStation show, but they didn't add that to the Xbox side of it as well. So I thought that was quite interesting, because that's sort of the first real clear differentiation between the two services now.
Yeah, but it does cost a lot more to buy like an Xbox game than it does a PC game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So, which is odd. When it's digital, it shouldn't matter, should it? I don't suppose, but they need to pay license fees and all that to Microsoft, where they probably don't need to do that on. Obviously, it's their own service on PC, so they don't have to pay those fees. So that's probably the reason that they decided to hold out on the Xbox, I would think.
I'll keep my fingers crossed anyway.
Unless they're going to announce it tonight at the Xbox conference.
There is a chance. I'd subscribe immediately, because I play quite a lot of EA games, so just give me all the games.
If they do, it's a crazy deal. I mean, you're talking Anthem, Madden, NHL, FIFA. I mean, if they do that, I think that's a big deal. I want it on PlayStation. I mean, I would do it alone for NHL and FIFA, because there's £80 straight away, and then if you add in, like, say you got Ted, it's not going to do Ted away. It's going to start with Anthem, not that. But if you get all those games, I mean, it's worth it. Really, I think so. Anyway,
I think it's that service that pays for itself. I mean, at the moment, the Xbox version is £20 for a year. And you get, everything's on there at the moment other than the current FIFA, I think, and I think that's about it, really. That and Battlefront's not on there, and UFC. I think that's about it for EA. So it'd be interesting. I'd love to see more companies move towards that.
I don't know where they will do it or not, but anyway, we'll move on. So another announcement was just the date for Sea of Solitude coming in early 2019. I know quite a lot of our staff, like Rebecca, I think Dan as well, is quite keen on that one. They seem to think it was quite nice. I was a bit like, yeah, it's alright.
I was a bit like, is it going to be sort of more of kind of a walking simulator in the third person? And then in the trailer they then showed there was that kind of that large monster that came up, or whatever it was, and that kind of made me think there was going to be a bit more action perhaps than I first thought there would be. So I'm quite intrigued by it, actually, and it looks beautiful. I don't know what your thoughts were on the art style, but it looked really lovely.
I think it looks nice, but it never really struck me as something I thought to myself, oh, I must play that. I just thought to myself, yeah, it's alright. But on a similar vein, they also announced Tearaway 2 and released it.
Unravel.
Last night. So why did I say Tearaway? I was thinking that last night as well. When I was thinking about the game, I was thinking Tearaway, and I'm thinking, why am I getting Tearaway and Unravel muddled up? Because
I would be very surprised if we get a Tearaway 2 at Sony's conference.
Yeah, Tearaway and I keep getting the two muddled up, and I don't know why. But anyway, Unravel 2, rather. Sorry about that. Unravel 2, they released it last night. We're going to review it on the site because someone on the site bought it and they're going to do a review for it, so we will have a review. Quite interesting, actually. I mean, I remember the first game. I never really got into it that much. I thought it was okay, but then I was kind of like,
The platforming always felt a bit fiddly to me. It always felt a bit, nearly there. It was a cool concept and I really like the art style because it was very realistic art style, wasn't it? Apart from Yarny. But the second one seems to just have a lot more responsive platforming, just from that short demo they showed. Plus that sort of co-op that you can have as optional co-op. So I think that'd be really nice for. And as they said on stage, it'd be a great game to play with your kids.
Yeah,
and I think that sort of opens them up.
I think it's great that there's co-op actually, and that's what sort of sticks out about it for me. I think that could be good. So I might check it out at some point. I'll see. Right, now we get to the rest of the stuff. Respawn's new Star Wars game, not a lot known about it. Jedi Fallen Order, out holiday 2019. Obviously no gameplay shown or anything.
That was a weird announcement. Was it just me, or was that a weird announcement?
Yeah, it was a bit weird the way they did it. That the girl's just talking to him, going, "Oh yeah, how you? Oh yeah, we're releasing their game next year. No gameplay, nothing. That's it. It's like just almost got a casual."
It would have been so good to just hold that, and I think I put that in the Square XO article about the conference. It would have been so good to just have that next E3 and just have Jedi Fallen Order, because that's a cool sounding title as well, and it's going to cover the bit between Episode 3 and 4 when the Jedi are being hunted. And as a massive Star Wars fan, I love the sound of that. It sounds amazing. If they just dropped that with a gameplay trailer next E3 and then said, it's out this year, that would have been incredible. But instead, it got this weird kind of conversation where it's like, is there going to be lightsabers? Yes.
It's almost like there was no excitement around it.
No.
Wasn't it? It was just, that's coming. And that would have been a massive deal to just sort of reveal that as a surprise with gameplay or trailer. Everybody would have been screaming and really excited and stuff. Instead, it's just thrown in and it takes away the excitement. So, I have to agree with you there. Sticking with Star Wars, they announced that Clone Wars is heading to Battlefront 2. That's good. I'm quite pleased about that. But at the same time, I feel like Battlefront 2 has been a bit... Although I love Battlefront, I absolutely think it's brilliant. And Battlefront 2 I've barely played for ages after all that fuss and stuff. And for some reason, I've fell away from it. I don't know why, because I like it as a game.
It had such a toxic cloud around it. I think that a lot of people were just kind of like, and yourself included, you kind of play it and you go, but think of what it could have been. But obviously I did a patch notes article for the site recently, well, probably about a month ago now, and went into sort of some of the additions they've made, and it is a much improved game to how it launched. There's still a way to go, and I think they acknowledged that last night by saying we didn't quite get it right, but we're working to win that back. But it was interesting that sort of has informed their policy on the rest. I mean, that just from Battlefront 2 and the sort of fiasco around that. 2 games yesterday that we'll talk about in a minute, but both Anthem and Battlefield, they've had to actually say no loot boxes. And then they got a cheer. And it's sort of like, well, if your greed hadn't taken over in the first place, you wouldn't need to make that announcement.
Exactly. And I just think it's disappointing because I really like Battlefront 2. I think it's a really good game. I absolutely loved the first Battlefront because that was just basic. There was no messing about with loot boxes or anything. It was just basic. Battlefront 2, to me, it's just a bit confusing with all those loot boxes. It just took away from the sort of fun of it all for me. And I never really got into it as the same as I did the first game. So it's great they're adding the Han Solo season and the Clone Wars, which is their biggest map ever and stuff. But I just feel like maybe I won't really get back into it again, which is a shame.
Yeah, I'm interested to try out the new heroes because it's Dooku, it's Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Grievous, and I think those four are actually very interesting additions to the game, and hopefully they'll play a bit differently to the other Jedi and that kind of thing that we've got in the game already. So, and it'll open things up. But yeah, I love Battlefront for the fact that it just feels like this box of Star Wars action figures you can just mash together. Yeah,
that is fun.
So hopefully they'll continue with that.
I'm hoping I'll get back into it one day, but I don't see it at the moment. But we'll see. Okay, let's talk about, first of all, Battlefield 5. To be honest, it's just more of the same, isn't it? The war stories part of it's going to be revealed at Microsoft's conference, but
yeah,
I barely even saw them talk about Battlefield. Is it just me?
No, it flew by. They came out and they promised a multiplayer reveal, and they showed a short multiplayer trailer, which was all sort of, I could be wrong, but it looked to me like in-engine footage. It wasn't gameplay, or at least a lot of it wasn't gameplay, and it just kind of flew by. And then they sort of uttered the word sort of battle royale. And
Battle Royale,
mentioned a little bit about, you'd be able to jump out of windows and some cover could be moved, and then that was it. They were gone.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get a bit more of that at the Microsoft event.
I've got the feeling if the war stories is being announced at Xbox's conference, then they're obviously going big on Battlefield. They've obviously got the marketing and all that, so. Yeah, they've paid out
they did
for
the
that.
Reveal as well, I believe. It ended with an Xbox logo as well, and it's. I assume you'll probably get that sort of new maps and that earlier on Xbox or whatever. But I think it needs sort of. I don't know. To me, it looks like Battlefield 1 just reskinned for World War 2, and Battlefield 1 was great. But I'm not seeing anything that's making me go, oh, I must get that game come October, November time.
And with those words there that you just said, that's kind of how I feel about Anthem. It's like,
oh really?
Yeah, okay then. Anthem to me just looks boring. It looks like I don't like Destiny. I think Destiny's a very boring game. I don't like the online only, and sort of the way, to me it just feels kind of empty when you're doing the missions. It kind of feels like AI's just standing about, and you're like, then you got to it and it goes, oh, you're here.
Did you want to talk about Anthem now while we're on the subject, or do you want to save that for a little bit later?
No, let's just talk about it, because it's...
Okay. I'm the complete opposite to you.
I'm not really excited about it at all. That's just what I want to say. It's online only. It's not my type of game whatsoever, so I'll just let you rabbit on about how excited you are about it,
and rabbit on I will.
Positive out of me, to be honest, because that.
So as a big fan of Destiny and The Division, I know what you mean. They are, those sort of looter shooters can feel very empty, feel very lifeless, and because the story is told in the same way as, it's that old sort of joke of you're walking past, you've got this really emotive cutscene, and then you turn around and there's a bloke called like Bong Ripper 69 next to you, and you just kind of lose all kind of narrative focus. And it's interesting that Anthem, they announced yesterday, is going to have the open world is going to be multiplayer, so you can have people drop in, drop out. It's playable in single player, but you will need an online connection. But the single player focus is in the cities, where you presumably get quests, hand in quests, that kind of thing, and that will progress your story as opposed to a communal story. But because the open world is so open and so full of people, when events happen in the game that change the map, that change the layout of the area, that change the weather and the night cycle and that kind of thing, that will be shared by everyone. So that it is that sort of shared world shooter that Destiny sort of started in 2014 now. 4 character classes, so each with their own different kind of focus and lots of visual customization options. And again, as we mentioned, they went into there's no loot boxes. They did mention that you'll be able to buy things from an in-game store, but you'll know exactly what you're buying, which I think is a step in the right direction. And perhaps most interestingly about Anthem is, because I was already sold on this game from last year, but it's coming out 22nd of February in 2019. So
it's gone.
Yeah, not too long to wait, but it is clashing with a big Sony first-party exclusive there in Days Gone.
Yeah.
A game that I don't know. You're probably a little bit more entrenched in the PlayStation community than I am, but the general sort of feel I've got from Days Gone is people are kind of intrigued by it, but they're waiting to see how it turns out. I don't know of anyone that's really quite that hyped for it. And it could be interesting to see
quite
how
hyped
Sony
for it.
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Nicole is as well.
To be honest, I quite like the sound of it. I'm fed up of zombies a bit, but it kind of got this Walking Dead feel to it, which I quite like. But I don't want to get into too much now. We'll talk about that in our podcast or something. But yeah, it's coming out the same day as that. But Anthem, yeah, you're excited, so that's good. Okay, right. I think before we wrap up, there's a few more things that was announced. Clone Wars, not Clone Wars, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Command and Conquer, the mobile game where they done that boring presentation where we're all
it was boring, wasn't it?
Oh, he's coming out. Oh, good, I'm switching over. You know what I mean? So, honestly,
it was obviously a very staged demo, but it also just highlighted that how far Command and Conquer has fallen since it was, the pinnacle of real-time strategy on the PC so many years ago.
I used to have Command and Conquer, now look at it. Honestly.
It just felt so forced. It felt like a real sort of boring game that they needed to put a name on.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It might surprise us. It might end up being one of those games that they end up porting into Switch, Vita, and those kind of things for sort of on the go play. But I don't know. I zoned out completely, and because it was other than Anthem, it was the last thing in the conference. So I just killed all momentum for me.
Yeah, it was. That was.
I was just okay, thank God it's Anthem, because that means we're over soon.
Yeah. So, and obviously we haven't missed it. I was going to talk about it at the end because it's what excites me the most. But the sports games, that's what I'm looking forward to. I missed the first 20 minutes, which was a bit annoying because I thought it started at 9. I don't know why. I thought it started at 9, then I turned it on and I'm like, whoa, FIFA. So I'm quite excited about FIFA. I love FIFA. I'm a huge FIFA fan.
You
FIFA
and me
19.
both.
There wasn't much shown, was there? Not a lot.
No.
But it's got Champions League. I'm excited to see how that works with Ultimate Team. It's got a new mode here, a new shooting mode or something. A new practice.
I didn't see that. I'll be honest. When I was watching, the main things I picked up on were obviously the Champions League license, and they had that they had the trophy there, whether it was a real one or not, who knows. And then they just had this real vague kind of comment about what was it they said? We've raised the bar gameplay wise, but didn't go into anything they've changed. They
never do it anymore. They always go, "Oh, this is what we've done this year." They come out with their
and a few years ago it was like the player marking and the defensive controls, and they go into a little bit, but.
Every year they do that. They come out with their key buzzwords. Or this year we've raised the bar. This year we've got super passing. This year we've done this, that. We've got a Champions League. How's it going to work with Team? There's a new mode I know, which is to do with, I think it's to do with shooting or something. But I need to read into that a bit more. It's like I don't think they showed much to do with it. So
I did notice on the trailer that they showed, they have the sort of quick trailer that doesn't really show a lot. It just shows a lot of football going on.
Yeah.
In the trailer, they did show a lot of sort of half volleys, I noticed. Sort of balls flying up off the turf and then taking a shot. So I wonder if maybe they are rejigging the shooting entirely for this one, and they probably just won't announce it yet. I know they often have quite a big presence at Gamescom, EA, because that's the European market. So for soccer, or football as we call it, because we're correct. I think we'll probably see more at Gamescom in that regard.
Yeah, it'll be interesting anyway. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. And obviously there's the other sports games. I mean, I'm not really into Madden or whatever, but
no, and that was a bit cringeworthy, wasn't it? The back and forth they had there.
Yeah.
It was a bit
NHL 18 as well. I'll be excited.
Yeah.
NHL 19, sorry. I'll be excited for that, because I quite like that. I've always quite liked the gameplay of NHL. So that was about it. So I mean, overall, for me anyway, I just thought it was a bit of a terrible conference. I mean, whether that's because the only game I'm really interested in at the whole lot is the Star Wars one and FIFA 19. Other than that, for me, it was a bit of a bust. And the fact that it was just boring didn't help much. I think the problem I've got is that it used to be that you'd get Peter Moore coming out and presenting it, and all the developers, and it would just be, they'd all be excited, they know what they're talking about, it's buzzing, and it was just exciting. It's a bit like what Sony and Microsoft do. They don't bother with all this e-sport YouTuber content creator.
It felt a bit false, didn't it, as it did last year.
That's what they do. They're more focusing on the sort of, I guess you could call it the YouTube market, with the YouTube presenters and all that, whereas the others is still a bit old school, and I think I prefer the old school approach personally. That's how I feel about it. So I
thought the host Andrea Renee did really well. I think for a conference that wasn't full of surprises, we only had really the only surprises were Sea of Solitude and Unravel 2. I nearly called it Tearaway 2 then. And being as it, that was released there, and then that's a cool buzz point. Everyone's going to kind of go and try and download it, or obviously we got the review coming up soon. But it felt a bit like there was nothing we weren't expecting. We were expecting Star Wars, and we got Battlefront DLC and a title for a new game. We were expecting sports games, and we got that. We were expecting Battlefield, and we got less information than we got at the reveal for that a few weeks ago. And the only real thing that really stuck out to me is, and obviously it's not hit you how you would sort of go for it, but Anthem really hit me and spoke to me, and it's kind of it's got me really hyped. But that is the only thing in that entire conference that I kind of, and even as a massive player of FIFA, I just kind of was like, okay, they've got the Champions League license, that's really cool, but what else are you going to show me?
So we're hoping by the signs of things, I'm speaking for IT as well, that E3 can only get better, really. So if you join us for the rest of our videos, we'll soon find out, and then we'll wrap up our E3 coverage probably with our podcast, which I believe we're recording on Wednesday, where we'll talk a lot about Sony, I imagine. But in the meantime, that was EA. Thanks for joining us. Remember to visit our website, squarexo.co.uk, twitter.com/square_xo, and back us on Patreon if you can. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.